in gas chambers. They did the exact same thing. Why? Because Germany is sitting back after World War I going, I know how we can get rich, enslave a people. Take a people's money and then kill all of them because America made it look so successful. If we would show the world that you can't enslave the children of God and they tell you to forget about it, damn it might save the planet. It might make them not invade Iraq.
Yeah.
It might say, well, we enslave black people and they turn to their God more. Maybe they'll stop enslaving people because slavery will stop being so successful. I don't know.
Listen, maybe they'll stop killing the Palestinians. Like if you love the Palestinians, that's your people or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll make the Israelis say, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't do that. Like, boy, oh boy, without the Most High, this nation must be on top of the world. Because otherwise, like you said, that's the facts.
I said one thing, sir.
Please.
I went to some research this week on the Vietnam War, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I found a video and a story about these United States soldiers who fought in Vietnam. They came back. This is in the 70s. And they did a giant march. And they're holding signs saying, we will not fight the war of rich men anymore.
Wow.
They were all veterans of the Vietnamese War. And there's all these men standing there fighting. And I said, that was in the 70s. And you are still fighting a war for rich men today.
Yes, sir.
Rich people are still going to push you into another war after Afghanistan, after Iraq and the weapons of mass destruction. Here goes Netanyahu. Netanyahu has been around since I've been in the truth.
Yeah.
Since I've been in the truth, I've watched Netanyahu come on TV and say, if you don't invade Iraq, they're going to have a nuclear weapon in 2 weeks, in 3 days. You have to invade Afghanistan because they're harboring nuclear, they're enriching uranium. Remember this one, Houthis? Yellow cake out of Niger. Remember that? Who remembers that?
Yeah.
The Iraqis are enriching yellow cake. That's the first time I've ever heard of some yellow cake.
Whatever the hell that is.
Whatever that is. But they're getting yellow cake. If someone wants to find that on the internet, research Netanyahu saying they're getting yellow cake uranium out of Niger and they're enriching it. And Iraq is going to have a nuclear weapon.
It's going to be bad.
Right there. Iraq is going to have a nuclear weapon in 6 months, in 3 months. They go in and they kill 3 million people die. And there were no weapons of mass destruction. Here I am again with gray hairs and a bald head and gray hair in my beard. And Netanyahu is here again, back saying, we better invade Iran because they're going to have you know what, you white people out there, God damn it, I can't take it no more, sir.
Got it.
They don't have any regard for human life. That's the best way I can describe it. You know how you think about just being a life. You don't care about people at all. You got a cop running down people on the sidewalk, driving a car on the sidewalk, killing people. A cop is driving 200 miles an hour to arrest someone for child support. Don't you have any regard for life? Let me ask you a question. Is Barron Trump going to fight Iran in the war, sir? Huh?
Exactly.
He's 18, he's 19.
Right.
6'5", 8", tall, strapping young man. Is he going to go fight in Iran, or will your sons and daughters die for some other man's country with mythical nuclear weapons that don't even exist until people say we better make some nuclear weapons, or else America is going to invade us? You better go get some nuclear weapons. You know what this shit means? You better have a nuclear weapon.
That's right.
Because guess who they're not invading? North Korea.
Yeah.
Pakistan.
Yeah.
Who else?
India.
India. North Korea is sitting right here next to South Korea, doing all manner of nasty things. Is North Korea getting invaded?
No.
Because he has nuclear weapons. Well, if I want to keep my country, sir, I don't know nothing but logic. I don't understand big things. But if I want my country, I'm getting a nuclear bomb immediately.
Yes.
Or else I'm going to get invaded.
That's
You're
right.
not invading Yin Yao Ming, whatever the fuck his name is.
Right. Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un. He's not. Why isn't North Korea getting attacked?
Right.
Because they have a nuclear weapon. So they're going to get left alone. Iran better get a nuclear weapon. Who's the enemy of America, you better go get one.
Right.
Because if not, this is going to happen to you.
Yes.
Now, why do people have to die so much for your arrogance, for your money lust, for your greed? Barron Trump is not going to go to war. His father didn't fight in Vietnam. Trump's children are not going to fight. But the white man has no regard for human life. You know what I believe, sir?
Right.
I believe someone else should be in charge. Like white people being in charge is just a mess, and it ruins the planet. Blacks and Latinos should be in charge. If you don't believe in our laws, if you don't believe in our code of conduct and our rules that God gave to us, at least I think everyone knows this, Haas. Blacks and Latinos have a higher regard for human life.
That's right.
That we are more peaceful.
Yes, sir.
We're a more peaceful people.
Yes, sir.
We're a more kind people than white people have ever been. We should be in charge, sir.
If I could add to what you're saying, which is so heavy, and we are a more just people.
Right.
We'd be 10 times better than them in dealing with being just. And brother, it's now getting ready to come. They're getting ready to pay for it all. It ain't hit all the way yet, and the reality ain't come nowhere clear how bad this is, but they are going to face the music.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
in this right here. Salat.
please, sir.
Please.
We have the uranium yellow cake video.
Please. They ruined Colin Powell's whole life career. He joined the military as a regular PFC soldier, rose to a general. What how many stars he had?
All of them.
Dang. 4-star
yeah.
to a 4-star general. And they threw him off the cliff and made him be the voice for that daggone BS. That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? That don't make no kind of sense. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you all off.
Please.
Complex located near the city of Ardakan, as well as Shahid Rezai Najad Yellow Cake Production Facility. Now, the uranium ores are extracted from Sagand mine and then sent to the complex to be converted.
I was in at the time. This is when
Get out of here, huh?
I was in during the time. This is when we was going on
by God's grace.
my first Mediterranean float. I was in. We stopped in Liberia because they had a civil war. We had to deal with that. Go over there to the embassy and deal with all that dead bodies in the street and all them Hamites is crazy. They wild. Then we went up the Mediterranean. We went on up there, and I was in this during this time, and that's all they talked about was that. There's yellow cake, and okay, I got so tired of hearing about it. We had to put them damn suits on.
Oh
Oh
snap!
my God, them suits was a pain in the butt. We had to run in them suits, training them suits, and everything. Yeah, it was just wild. I was so happy when the shit was over. I could come back home. I got tired of them suits, but I was in during that time.
And the suits were supposed to protect you from nuclear.
Well, okay, he's not gonna protect you from nuclear, but the
Okay.
yellow mustard was what we really was worrying about because he used that in Iran.
Okay.
So we figured he was gonna use it again.
Saddam Hussein.
Saddam, yeah. So we was really worrying about that. That yellow mustard was we was worried about that. Yeah. That was the deal.
How much longer? Look how old that tape was. They're about to get a nuclear weapon. Saddam Hussein had mass destruction. They invade him.
Can you imagine how we felt when we found out one of them damn nuclear weapons over there? Like, we going over there, we over there fighting XYZ, and we find out wasn't nothing over there. Like, what the hell was the point? Why are we even over there?
He just doesn't care. I mean, I don't. The brother showed you the video, and after Vietnam, the soldiers who fought in Vietnam said the same thing you said.
Yeah.
They came home. What in the hell did we just invade North Vietnam for? Let me see that video again. You showed up to that picture. This is everybody's.
They saying it now.
Saying it again.
They saying it now. After Iraq and Afghanistan, they saying it now. What was the point?
And once again, Haas, the next time some official or some president says we need to bomb somebody, these people are going to vote for him and put him in power. Because there is a thing in white people that demands blood, which is what the general was just saying. Like it's their nature. Like they have to have it. And then after it's over, they go, oops, I guess we shouldn't have invaded Afghanistan. The Taliban in charge right now in Afghanistan.
Yes.
In charge right now in Afghanistan. That little girl's tied to a stove. The little girl can't learn how to read. They're in charge right now.
The same ones that was in Guantanamo Bay, General.
The same ones. And you know what? When Haas says the same ones, That's not figurative, meaning this guy, Mohammed, whoever, they release him. He's governor of Afghanistan.
Yes.
He's in charge of this state in Afghanistan. Why did your sons die? Because rich white men have no regard for life. They don't care. So much so, I can prove it. I'll prove it to you right now, black people. This is how little regard white people have for life. When black people lose the regard for life and they become gangsters, they name themselves after a white man. They all do that. I'm Scarface. I'm Al Capone. I'm Ruth Capone. I'm Gotti. I'm Herb Gotti. Rich Gotti. Murder Inc. I'm this. Oh, Jesus. I'm Rockefeller. This is how much we know how white people love to kill. When we love to kill, we pretend to be white.
Yes.
We imagine being white, including that preacher who puts a suit and a tie on and tells your sons to go enlist. He pretends to be white. That's how little regard white people have for life. Why can't we be in charge? Why can't we do it? Why can't we decide we're going to obey the commandments of God?
Right.
And more people will live.
Right.
White people out there, many white people out there kiss our boots. Give them a hand, man.
Damn right.
There's some good white folks out there. A judge asked me one time in court, sir. She says, "Are there any good white people?" I said, "Yes, Your Honor. You yourself being one." I said, "Our lawyer being another one." Are they good white people? Absolutely. There are some white people that realize that blacks and Hispanics have suffered here and that we should raise up from the condition that we're in. That we should have a more prominent condition in this earth. Some white people kiss our boots in acknowledgement of that.
Yep.
But white people, you could do more. You could do more. You're not done. You could do more than kiss our boots. That's a good start. But boy, you got so much more potential. You white people out there. You could advocate for blacks and Hispanics to rule the planet Earth. You could do it more. You could say that the Jews are black on every TV channel, on every podcast. You could say, stop fighting over there in Palestine and Israel. The real Jews are in Los Angeles. The real Jews are in Chicago, in Trinidad, in Jamaica, in Mexico. You could tell the world to stop fighting over the Middle East because blacks and Latinos in North and South and Central America are the real Jews. Mm. You could do that. You could donate all of your money to the Israelite School of UPK, and we would fight to raise every black and Hispanic up to their true level on this planet, which is to rule the world. Wouldn't that bring peace on earth? Right. There would be peace in the Middle East. Yes, sir. Because everybody there would say, this land is not ours anyway. Yep. Why should Palestine fight to keep the Middle East? Why should Israelis fight to keep the Middle East when Israel belongs to black people? Yep. Israel belongs to Hispanic. All of them would have to put their guns down and say this land is not ours. No president could ever launch a bomb, send anybody to war, because they would know the children of God should be the ones that decide who goes to war. Yeah. It would be peace on earth if they would support the Israelite School of UPK in exalting blacks and Hispanics up from the ground and putting them on top. They would do it. Now there'd be no more servants walking as slaves and slaves being in charge. Right. Finally, the world will be right side up. Mm. Everything would change. But here you go. You voted for Donald Trump. You voted for Kamala Harris. Just so you Democrats out there know, Kamala Harris would have invaded Iran too. Yep. Yep. Everybody would have did this. How do I know? Because Barack Obama went in there and killed everybody
in Syria.
Syria, killed everyone he could. George Bush killed everyone he could. Bill Clinton killed everyone in Africa. Bill Clinton supposed to be so black. Right. He went into Africa, Somalia, killed everyone there in Somalia. The politics are irrelevant, Democrat and Republican. That means nothing at all. What matters is that evil men are in charge of the planet. You have to put good men in charge of the planet. And the Israelite School of UPK, we're trained to rule the world. And listen, give us a chance. What else do you have to lose? Right. Give us a chance. Salaki, sir.
Damn right. Give it up.
You die. I'm sorry. You died.
Houthis threaten to target U.S. ships in the Red Sea if they participate in any attack on Iran.
So the Houthis threatening to get in. Give me a little more, if you don't mind.
Come
That's your
on, sir.
question, Who
Please.
are the Houthis?
The biblically, or you mean just period?
Period. In the news.
Okay.
The news you hear
The name you hearing in the news are the ethnic Yemenites. Which we got a map. Marah had some good maps the other day. You got maps, Marah? Bring one of those maps up. The Houthis are ethnic Yemenites, and they are the actual Yemenites. If you notice, whenever they show the Houthis, they show a dark people. That dark people, that's the people of Yemen. Those are the same people that came to see Solomon, for those that may not know. They're the same people that land is called the land of Sheba, which is where the woman who came to see Solomon, you know what I'm saying? That's how they get this whole idea that the Ethiopians are Israelites and all of that stuff. So yeah, but that's not, of course, that's not the case. Go ahead.
Khan, sir. Yemen's Houthis announced its readiness to target U.S. ships in the Red Sea if they participate in an attack on Iran, despite a previous agreement with Washington. Yemen's Houthis said they would target U.S. ships in the Red Sea if Washington participates in any potential attack against Israel in cooperation with Israel, the group announced on Saturday. We will target U.S. ships and battleships in the Red Sea if Washington participates in the attack on Iran, the group's military spokesperson, Yahya Sari, said in a statement published by the group's media outlet.
Oh, yeah, there you go. He's got it now. Okay. Can you raise it up a little bit? Just so we can get a good look at it. I should be turned.
I got you. So that's the country of Yemen.
Yeah.
And the Houthis are the people who are rich, were always there.
Yeah, from that country. They just rule the lower half of the country. That country is split in two. The half on the side of Saudi Arabia, of course, is with Saudi Arabia. But below it is the real ethnic ones, and they side with Iraq, which is, you got a point of any kind? No. Is there any way, can you move that map or no? It's fixed?
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. If you look above, you see where it says Oman? If you go right up to Oman and then you cross that little area of water and hit the other side, that's Iraq.
Okay.
Now, the people that live on the lower end of Yemen, see if you find another one out where you could get the whole area. The people that live on the lower half of Yemen, those are the Houthis that are down with the Iranians. Okay. But now they're fighting the rest of the Yemenis, and they're fighting Saudi Arabia. And Iran is fighting Saudi Arabia. And so you know what's going to eventually happen. Nothing but some trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So this country, Yemen, right here, they're the red part. I'm seeing.
Go up a little bit if you could. Go up a little bit if you could. Is that you, Marah, moving the map? Can you move the map the other direction? I'm sorry. I meant down, Salaki.
Okay.
Right there. Yeah, there you go. Go ahead, man.
Okay, so I got you now. So that brownish part, that's the Houthis area.
Yeah, see how it says Houthi rebellion?
I see it.
That's the ones they having the trouble with. And you see that they sitting right there at the Gulf of Aden, which means they able to block anything going up into the Red Sea. And the Iraqis are on the other side. If you go up by Oman, they own the other side of the waterway. See the Straits of Hormuz?
Where is that?
Right there, them two red lines.
Okay.
Now that Straits of Hormuz or whatever they call it, and that other end that the Houthis run, if they shut them two down, nothing can come out of the Middle East without going through them. That means everybody got to go up through the Suez Canal in Egypt, which will take forever.
So, okay, why? That's my next question. Why are the Straits of Hormuz so important?
Can you come down a little, just a little bit, little more till you see the two. Boom, right there. Now you see the two red lines by Yemen, by the waterway of Yemen. Okay. Point to the two red. Yeah, there you go. Oh, and then you see the two red lines up at the top of the Straits of Hormuz.
Okay.
All those countries, Yemen, Oman, United Arab Emirates, all the ones you've been hearing about, Qatar, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, Eritrea, Djibouti, or Djibouti as they call it, Egypt. All of their goods and all of their oil got to come through them two areas, and the one up in the north. So now, now, if all their goods got to come through there, brother, they and Mecca as well in Saudi Arabia, they ain't gonna be able to get it out. And see, Iran was smart. Iran just controlled the Straits of Hormuz. Now that they got those Yemeni rebels, now they control the other side down there. So now they can mess with all the world's oil, all the world's goods. They can bankrupt them countries if held long enough.
So now, sir, the Straits of Hormuz up there, where was that say Banar Atlas? That's it.
Oh, Bandar Abbas.
Bandar Abbas. Now
that's all Iran.
That's Iran.
That's Iran.
Okay.
All
got it now. So they control that part.
Yeah.
And they control the other path because they control the Houthis, the rebels against Yemen.
Boom. So they got both sides.
They got both sides.
So they holding a lot of power. And that's also why the Israelis, of course, want to get rid of them. So that nobody can hold them up.
So now, right now, the goods, the oil, everything comes through those paths.
Through them two paths.
So Iran lets people come through these paths now.
They pay Iran. to go through there.
Okay, so they got to pay Iran, everybody around, they got to pay them.
I'm sure they work some,
you know, man, to work through, to go through their path.
Exactly.
Okay, I got it. And so now, if Iran gets angry, goes to war, they don't let these countries, or at least not their allies,
shut them down.
They shut them down, so they can't trade.
They can't trade.
They can't get out.
Exactly. Okay. So they have a world of problems. Okay. You know what I mean? If they block it off. Not to mention they own firepower, they own weapons. You know, they could do a lot of damage in there. And what we're looking for in this prophecy, if we could, is now that Iran has been stirred up, who's an ally of Russia, Russia's prophecy is to eventually invade Saudi Arabia. Okay. And they're going to use Iran, like the Russians, if you could, I don't know if you're able to get it, but you see where the word Iran is? All the way to the eastern side of the coast. Come closer to the east. The west. To the west. Where that little ship is near Kuwait. Now go up on the land of Iran. Don't move the map. Leave the map there. But just slide. Yeah, you good. Go from Kuwait over to Iran. To right there. Go back to the edge. Come down just a little bit. Now come in just a pinch. The Russians are building a nuclear power plant right there. Can you put the marker back up? We lost you. The Russians are building, and listen, and when the Americans went and bombed Iran, they did not bomb this site. They did not bomb this site because the Russians were there. Can you leave it on them? The water. The Russians was there. Now look how close Saudi Arabia is. You got Bahrain, which is one of their major cities, but that's Saudi Arabia right there. So if the Russians got to go, they going in there. That's where they going in. And that's biblical prophecy. We that close. The Iranians are that close to the Most High's word coming to pass. So it's hot. That whole thing is a powder cake. And they flew over all them countries to bomb Iran, which means that's why Iran came back and bombed Qatar and bombed Iraq. And if left alone, they might have bombed some more. Now, if they increase, it might go on in that Saudi Arabia, and there may be no turn. Because if they go in Saudi Arabia, America can't come back. America, you're going to see white boys die across them deserts. They're going to bury white bodies in them deserts by the truckload because of all that's going to take place over this oil. If you in the military now, you a fool. Just like, what's the name of that brother? That brother that's a sniper. He's always on social media. Got the Grim Reaper. That's what they call his nickname. Right. How you get the Grim Reaper?
One way.
You must be doing some major damage. You know what I'm saying? And so with that in mind, Lord allow, they're gonna end up in that place. Salakia.
Cool.
And if they do, damn right. If they do,
Okay, I get it now.
you know what I mean?
And so those countries, right?
Yeah.
Now how many which countries are with Russia and with America?
It's a good question. Can we bring it back up one more time if we could? This is a good one right here. Pull it on in a little bit more. Okay. Palestine, that's Israel. That's over there with Esau. That's the west.
Okay.
Jordan, the west.
Mm-hmm.
To the left is Cairo, the west.
Okay.
Egypt, the west. Saudi Arabia, the west. Kuwait, the rest. Bahrain, the rest. Qatar, the west. United Arab Emirates, the west. Slide on down. Now let's talk about the other side.
Okay.
Yemen with Iran. Eritrea with Iran. Djibouti with Iran. Sudan with Iran. All the lower states are with Iran. Go down a little bit more. That's where the map ends. Somalia and Somaliland, they split in two. One half is with Iran, the other half is with the West. U.S. military presence in all those areas, as they say. So they split up right there. Now, above that, you had, Salak, if you can go up north enough, a little bit more, you got Syria was with Iran. Damascus with Iran. All of that is Iran's allies. That's the split up right there. So, and all of it so that the Lord could bring in Israel, so he could deal with this nation.
I didn't even realize how big Iran was till just now.
It's huge.
I mean, good Lord.
It's a huge, it's almost as big as Saudi Arabia. That's a big country, man. Iraq was pretty big. Now you got, these. And, just think, man, these countries are deserts. Ain't nobody controlling all of that whole country. With all them deserts out there, man, and you know what I mean? Who knows who's in that damn desert? You came, them Bedouins and them.
Yeah.
I remember when we was out there, you go out there, man, you will drive 2-3 hours into the desert. Ain't nothing out there, no lights, you in the dark. 3 hours. The sun come up, they sitting out there with a camel drinking tea. Like, where in the hell did this? You know what I mean? He come out of nowhere. A bunch of them, 2-3 of them, they just living out there. You know what I mean? Like they can dwell in, I don't know, they got their style. They can dwell in them deserts. And I guess them camels get them, give them through. And they all out in them areas. So who knows who's out there? You know what I mean? I'm sure you got quiet military groups from the U.S. and all that is in that mess. But we just needed to come right where it's supposed to come. Now, once they come across over in the Saudi Arabia, then we on the march towards the end of the world. Unless Trump and Netanyahu, the Lord got two perfect idiots to bring it in right.
I'm telling you.
Because Donald Trump on the west, Netanyahu on the other side, between these two idiots, they're in the world.
That's it.
They good and dumb enough to end the damn world.
Okay.
So we waiting to see. So
What are you? I appreciate it.
What are you?
Okay, I see it.
I see why militarily why they went at Syria. Why America wanted to destroy Syria because they were allies of Iran.
Yeah.
Really, Iran really damn almost by themselves right now. Because a lot of them cats is not really simply Yemen. And they ain't even trying to destroy Yemen right now.
Yeah. And only if you go right north. Can you go up any higher, Og? Is that it? Right above that, you start going into Turkey and Russia. And Russia is damn near sitting like the overlord over all them countries if he could hold it together. Because they done brought all them rockets into Ukraine. I could see the plan. If they'd have knocked Russia out, everything up underneath there, they'd have bombed it into the Stone Age. Iran would have been wiped out. All of them would have been wiped out. So the Lord spared it for now, but let's see what happens next. Salaam.
Please come on.
Yeah, right. The water, y'all.
You die.
Iran's parliament votes to close the Strait of Hormuz after U.S. attacks. Following U.S. strikes on nuclear facilities on Saturday, the Iranian parliament has voted in support of closing the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical oil transit choke points, according to media reports.
Yeah, that's the one we was looking at on the right-hand side. Yeah, they're talking about shutting it down. And that's a major choke point if they go there. If they go there, and they might go there. Donald Trump looked like he'll stir it up for them to go there. And what you hear on the news is such propaganda. It's so different. You know what I mean? But the biblical scriptures say that they're gonna go into Saudi Arabia. Iran was step one, and it happened. The Persians. It said right after Gog and Magog, it said the Persians, did it not? Then it said, I will stir up the Medes for thee. Let me tell you something. Pakistan and them, they getting in it too. They getting ready to get in it too. And Pakistan got nuclear weapons. And listen, they said several countries lining up to give Iran that bomb. They want that Brexit online. They want their economies to blow up like the West. The West has the oil on lock. And think about it, it's a rough one. The oil, all them Arab countries got the oil. The West got the petrodollar controlling everybody's oil. And all of them want the Brexit so they can cut the West's money and take some for themselves. And the West is holding them out of it. Russia's trying to bring them in it. The Lord is mustering the host. So let's see what happens as they go forward. But they going down that road. That's crazy. They want their oil back. Like all slaves after a while. They just want their chance to spend their money on themselves. That's what Africa crying about. Everybody crying about that. You know what I mean? And we don't even know that part of the wealth is ours in America.
Right.
We look at it like we a guest too.
That's right.
And we ain't no guest. We built this place. You know what I mean? So we ain't no guest. So Slocky. You died.
Calm. Vladimir Putin says countries are now ready to supply Iran with nuclear weapons.
That's what you just said?
Yeah.
There you go.
Most time, correct.
That's it.
Getting ready. They line. Did it say they lining up?
Oh, God.
See that? They want to give that bomb to Iran. They think, oh, you the one they coming after? We might as well draw the line right here. And after the Israelis really messed up because after they bombed the Palestinians so bad, don't nobody want to deal with them. You know what I mean? It's damn near like like America also washed their credibility off the table too, because now it's like the Arab countries are saying we sit up there trying to be just with them when this ain't got nothing to do with being just. They just coming to get this, and it don't matter what. Like the scripture said, have you come to the land with no walls?
That's right.
You come to just take a spoil for yourself. Now they beginning to realize that it's like that, so they changing how they going at it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be bad.
And sorry, this story that he's explaining, this is the definition and the practical path to world war.
Yes, it
like
is.
why a fight that happens in the Middle East is not just a fight that happens in the Middle East.
That's right.
A fight that happens there activates the entire world to join the side.
That's right.
Which by those paths, everybody has to make money here.
Yeah.
Everybody has to get oil from here. So no one can stay out of it.
That's right.
Every country on the planet has to pick a side.
That's right.
That's World War III.
That's World War III. And it will not be fought over there.
Shalom.
You better get ready for over here. It's getting ready to go in every country, all over the place. Every nut and crazy man is going to come out on all sides. It's just going to be a mess in this earth. And it's so right. It's so right because they've had their chance to rule. I mean, they ruled us out mercilessly for as long as possible before we just become exterminated. And now the Most High, after our punishment is fulfilled, is stepping back into the earth to put an end to the reign and the rule that they've had for so long towards the Most High's chosen. And again, okay, the only reason they feel so arrogant is because the 12 tribes of Israel are truly the most humble people on earth. No other nation would be doing it. Every nation you read about and watching, they all have rebels in their country. They all pick up arms against each other. for whatever the case might be. Different religions, they fighting. Different food, they fighting. Different routes of business, they fighting. Different ethnic groups, they fighting. But here in America, it's like, no, let's all be a melting pot. Let's be the example for the world. Let's be better than all that. But meanwhile, we done suffered hundreds of years of slavery and still getting stepped on. And so we the only ones foolish enough to think that that plan works. Democracy never works because there's always somebody on the bottom. It's the only way it can work. So we happen to be the one that's on the bottom for now. But boy, oh boy, judgment is coming. So Salaki, I yield, yo.
Please.
Damn right, no.
You died.
Kamala Khan. Iran attacked U.S. air base with short and medium-range ballistic missiles, U.S. officials say.
Go ahead.
Kamala Khan, sir. Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar was attacked by short-range and medium-range ballistic missiles originating from Iran, a U.S. defense official said Monday.
And that's big. They broke out of Iran. Iran does not attack countries. For them to break out of Iran and bomb Qatar, ooh, they that close. Qatar right here. Saudi Arabia right here. Why ain't let the bomb go low left? All you had to do was bank left a little bit. We in it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, Qatar right there. They went in there and bombed the U.S. air base. 10,000 soldiers was on that base. They evacuated. But they had 10,000 soldiers on that base. And they got over 50,000 soldiers between Turkey all the way down to Saudi Arabia. They got about 50,000, 60,000 soldiers. So they already got, more than enough manpower in the theater. Now that he has bombed that country, what else is going to get? Are they going to? Well, they said it's a ceasefire right now. The Israelis don't hold to no ceasefire, so that'll last till Friday. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be shocked if it go past. That's damn near to refuel. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be shocked if it go past a couple of days. So what I'm looking for anyway next, this is just me myself. I'm looking to see the Israelis pick it back up again and start the battle again. And then the question will be, what bases will they bomb next? And will those bases include Saudi Arabia? And on top of that, will the Russians? That's it. Because the Russians proposed giving them a nuclear warhead to go on that hypersonic missile. If they give them that, the playing field's level. It ain't sideways no more. The playing field is level. Then you're gonna have to really want that land in. Because they're gonna have the ability to drop a nuke on somebody else. You better want that land in. And there ain't no stopping that missile. So they're gonna be in it. Everything we always said would happen in these prophecies, thanks be to the Lord, they coming to pass. It's the only thing I could say. Damn right.
You die.
Kamala Khan. Marine Corps veteran says he feels betrayed after his father was arrested by masked federal agents in Southern California.
So this is a terrible thing. This is many people always forget about this. It's great controversy on the internet because the ICE agents are masked. The ICE agents wear masks, which has never been done in American history.
Yes, right.
Where federal agents, even police officers, don't wear masks in America. That's something done in Russia.
That's right.
Something done in North Korea.
Yeah.
Right. But now ICE agents all are masked as they beat people up and arrest people. And every time I see this, you know what I always wonder about? They say the reason that they wear masks is because they don't want social media to get this person's face. And then now people show up to their house, and which has never happened. But that's the excuse for wearing masks. But whenever I see this, especially videos like this, and the fact that they're going to throw this Mexican brother, just to give you an update, there's a Mexican brother who's out on the sidewalk, a vendor, an entrepreneur, selling Mexican goods on the street. He put his two sons in America's military. His sons fought in Iraq. Veterans.
Gave America the best he had.
Gave America the best he had. The son is going to say, we fought for America to show them that we loved America. Well, one day, masked men pulled up in an unmarked car. pulled up and beat his father up. His father weighs 150 pounds. 250-pound men, 6'4", beat his father and dislocated his shoulder. He went 24 hours with no food and no water and no medical attention. By the time his sons found him, they were so angry because they love America, and this happened to their father. And whenever I see this, I wonder, who are these masked men? What if they're not even federal agents? Couldn't you just contract this out to the Proud Boys?
Yes.
Like, if they have a mask on, then that means you can't know who he is. Police officers have to wear a badge number. So you could read that number and know that's a policeman. He's the first cat that arrested me was Officer Bennett, 4304. I remember. I was 13. I was 13 years old. He walked up in my house, dragged me out of the goddamn bed. I stuck in the bed earlier, act like I was asleep. You know I wasn't. Maybe it was all the sweating from running. But it was Officer Bennett, 4303.
Let me look at my.
That was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, who is arresting these cats?
That's right.
Maybe it's just some cat they give a day pass to. Like a contract worker.
Yeah.
Just hire some cat, some thugs.
And listen, and several people, if I could, General, real quick, several people got up on the airways and was saying these cats don't move like cops. They wearing sneakers. They don't have standard uniform.
The car is unmarked.
Right.
Like they're going to rent a car
and
beat people up and put them in an unmarked car with sneakers. How in the hell you know this cat ain't just the Proud Boys under contract?
Or the Klan.
Oh, Jesus.
Or that's the one. Or the Klan. And in other countries it's called rendition. Like they just snatching people off the street. That's rendition. Here's what every Mexican, I don't know if I should say this.
The point is that the police shouldn't be doing that.
Can I say if it's me?
If
it was me as a Mexican, I would be dressing masked up with everything ICE wear. So when ICE show up, the whole neighborhood gonna look like ICE. That's what I would do. I would be, when they get out their car, the whole goddamn neighborhood gonna have on green vests with masks around their face. We all like we gonna lock them all the fuck up. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. What are you gonna deport 30 million people out of the country? 30 million? And he telling them get 3,000 a day. Is this a real thing? Or is this a political stunt to make white supremacists feel good? Because you are certainly not trying to actually do the deportation. You don't have the manpower to do it. You couldn't even do it with the United States military. You could bring 1 million soldiers on the street. You still couldn't get 43 million people out of the country, or 30 million people deported. It's ridiculous. And that's also why you black leaders, you West Indians, and especially you disgusting Latinos who turn around and side against your own people for this type of brutality and evil being done. Look how he punching this old man in the head. They love to do this. Look at this. He's beating on this old man with gray hair on his head, beating him half to death. Like, you side with that, you're a wicked, evil bastard, and you don't believe that God is just. God gonna bring justice for this that's been done. And the blacks should tie in with Latinos. And listen, I ain't saying break no law, but I don't think it's against the law to wear the vest and the scarf and
I think you're right.
I don't think that's illegal. You know what I mean? If it is, somebody let me know. But I know that you can't go kill them. That's against the law. You can't kill them. You can't fight them back. You can't do any of those things physically. But you don't have to just die in some cage without being fed for 24 hours. Like Donald Trump is being ridiculous. And white supremacists are being ridiculous. You've ruled for half a century. For 5 centuries, you rule the world. And there's no room for nobody. And that's why you gotta live in a cave. That's why you gotta live in a cave where the weather is below freezing all the time. You gotta be like in the mountains, in the caves where nobody wants to go. And the reason why is because if you get anywhere with anybody, you kill everybody. They brought out the history on the so-called Jews. Brother, they said they came, you know that they came to the land of Palestine on boats, begging the Palestinian governments to take them in, that they were refugees from Germany. They were starving. And they said, please take us in. You going to say something, you die? Go ahead. Go ahead. Say it, please.
I was going to say, sir, I was just explaining this to a sister the other day. It was so heavy about what you're saying in 1948. And it goes to show us on how, our people's mindset is messed up. That imagine if Esau would have gave Amalek Juneteenth and didn't give them billions of dollars, didn't move them from living with the oppressor. And then when you flip it and you look at what Esau has done to us, we still live, in the West Indian Islands. We still live in Haiti and San Domingo. We still live in America, in the land of our captors. But we rejoice over Juneteenth while the world is coming up to speak up for Iran, to speak up for Amalek, and nobody speaks up for the children of Israel. That was it, sir.
Listen, give it up. You not only are you so right, but here's the other part on what you're saying, which is so right. Like, this man came to Israel, Palestine. It wasn't no Israel, it was Palestine. Came to Palestine, moved in off of boats, coming off of the death of of German concentration camp. And brother went and killed every country around. Bombed everybody. He done went to war with damn near every country around. He done fought Jordan. He done fought Egypt. He fought everybody. Went and took over all their land. I mean, and he going on and on and on. It's like it wasn't perfect. Oh, slug. It wasn't perfectly peace in Palestine, but it wasn't this. But this man don't get enough, and that's why the Lord's judgment got to fall on him. And the worst thing about the Lord's judgment, you can't blame nobody. That's the part about the Lord's judgment that be the worst, is that when he put this spank on you, when this empire and all the empires fall. Matter of fact, can I get one scripture?
Yes, sir.
One of my favorites, y'all know the one, Revelation, you die, where I always talk about where the smoke of her burning. They shall see the smoke of her burning. They shall say we would have saved Babylon. Babylon. Read that one for me. Like when the Lord bring that down, then nobody will be able to argue. No other nations couldn't argue. You understand? Nobody will be able to say something's different. You know what I mean?
Come. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 18. And cried when they saw the smoke of her.
Go above it. I'm sorry.
Come, sir.
Try 17 or 16 real quick.
Come, the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 16. And saying, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen.
See that? That's America. That's that great city, clothed in fine linen. All the money, the wealth, they drunk with the wealth. Go ahead.
Khan, and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones.
All the best of everything. That's why them ones in Qatar, they knew. That's why they bombed Qatar first, because Qatar wanted to give Donald Trump that damn plane. He wanted to give him that $400 million plane. They said, we're going to smoke their ass first. Man, they let them fly over with them planes, get their ass first. Because they knew, you know what I mean? But Qatar knew what Donald, he's this. Yeah. This is him right here. He loved the wealth and the decadency and the purple and the gold and the greatness of America. The Most High gonna answer that. Go ahead,
Khan, and pearls.
And pearls. Go ahead.
Khan, verse 17. For in 1 hour.
In 1 hour. Go ahead.
Khan, so great riches is come to naught.
Brother, that day is gonna be a day in infamy. Like when that day happened, the scribes is going to be writing nonstop to their hand damn near fall off, because it's going to be, nobody's going to believe. It's going to be like parting the Red Sea. When this place go down, it's going to be like parting the Red Sea. Nobody's going to be able to even understand that this great empire with all this wealth got wiped out. Read on.
Khan, sir. And every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea.
See that? That's why they want to cut them off.
You just said.
Same one straight.
Straits of Hormuz.
That's it. They go. It's biblical. They can't get around it. You can't get around these prophecies. Like the Lord said, all that wealth coming through there, which ain't no more wealth coming nowhere more than oil. The wealth of oil is bigger than the wealth of gold right now. So you can't get it. So when the Lord's talking about that wealth, he's talking about down there. Read on.
Come on, sir. Stood afar off.
Wait a minute. Stood afar off, meaning they see this place being destroyed and they getting the hell up out the way. Go ahead.
Wakan, sir. Verse 18. And cried when they saw the smoke of her burning.
All their allies, even the Arab countries, Saudi Arabia, all those countries that are trying to join hold with him, they said when they see this place, brother, they're going to cry bitterly. Come on, so I can keep cutting you off. Go ahead,
Wakan, sir. Saying, what city is like unto this great city?
Who is as great as America? Go ahead.
Wakan. And they cast dust on their head.
Damn, they threw the ashes on their head. Like this is, when you throw the ashes on your head, you know God came for you. You ain't wondering about it then. You ain't how we gonna rebuild or no, God done came for you. You ain't got no more fight. Go ahead.
And cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city, wherein we were made rich, all that had ships in the sea.
They all trading, robbing other countries, starving them down, making them slaves, and starting with the slave trade. Let's don't just give them the modern trade, right or wrong.
Right.
The transatlantic slave trade was how they made their worldwide wealth in the beginning. And you know what I mean? Damn right, give that up. Like their worldwide wealth came from that. And they've been getting it ever since across them ships. The Christopher Columbus and all them thieves that was robbing and stealing. You hundreds of years of robbing and stealing. The whole damn earth is in poverty, damn near.
Right.
In the richest empire of all, nobody can pay their damn rent. That's how much robbing and stealing and gobbling up that this man have done in the earth. He had sucked the earth dry. But now, all that trading and money and power, I'm just saying what God said. Don't take it out. It ain't personal. You know what I mean? I'm just saying what the prophecy said. I ain't gonna do nothing about it. The Lord will do something about it.
Right.
Go ahead,
Khan, sir. By reason of her costliness.
By the reason of her costliness, the good wealth. Go ahead.
Khan. For in 1 hour is she made desolate.
That's it. That's it. You wonder why Iran fighting to get that bomb? Because them bombs gonna get used. Like they gonna end up with the bomb eventually. Watch them get the bomb, and then the Israelis gonna lose their mind. The Saudi Arabians gonna want a bomb because they're gonna be like, well, Iran got a bomb right over there. I need a bomb too.
Sir, if I could, on the news today, right after Donald Trump said he obliterated the site, then they said, oh yeah, they were able to get out all the material and everything out of the site before, so they still have the capability to make a nuclear bomb. That's today in the news.
900 centrifuges. They're just gonna set up another site, start enriching again. And I told you they're working on the one over there with the Russians. And they wasn't gonna bomb the Russians. They knew if they bombed the Russians, well, it's on then. And now the world they so greedy. The world is too close to be doing this. You could get away with this 50 years ago. They crossing whole oceans in 7 hours. Got munitions that's damn near as big and bad as a nuclear weapon. You cannot do that no more. The world is too tight. Too many hands in the oil pot. You know what I mean? There's no room no more. And eventually somebody gonna step over the line and create a mess that they can't get back from. But they close. Finish it for me. I'll get up off it. Come on.
Verse 20. Rejoice over her.
This is the Lord's word. This is the Lord's word. Nothing we doing is wrong. Mom, you brought out something so heavy earlier today in your class when you brought out how this is not how gospel music was. This was not the spirit. Now, am I going to get me right? You were saying this is not the spirit we was in. And it's right. We wasn't in that spirit. This is the spirit of being in the gospel. What we talking about right here. In the spirit we talking about. We're not talking about nothing we gonna do. We not Black Panthers.
Right.
We're not in here trying to oil up our guns to go fight somebody. Okay? We use our weapons in defense like it is legal all over the damn earth to defend your life. You understand? But what will happen is these biblical prophecies. This is way more powerful than anything we could do. The Lord said in 1 hour, He gonna bury this place. In 1 hour. Because when they back gets up against the wall, missiles coming over. Yes, from everybody that hate America and everybody that hate Russia and China. And they're gonna pass each other in the sky. You can't shoot them down. They hypersonic missiles. So them things, they coming out the water in submarines, they coming out the air, they firing them off of the land. A cat might be running with one and fire the damn thing. And coming from everywhere. And they're going to bring them into the country. And remember, you know what else too, man? I've been thinking about a lot. We don't even think about all the horrible things that they did in the 60s with chemical and biological weapons. They messed all countries up out with chemical and biological weapons. They got weapons out here that is just banned by the Geneva Convention because it's so horrific. You can't even let it out the body. They said don't even, it's so horrific, locked in a basement in a concrete tomb, because if you bring the thing out and take the couple and stuff they made these things. You think when they gets against the wall, they fire them nuclear missiles, you think they're going to say, well, don't go downstairs and get the humana biological weapon. They going to get it, trying to fight the other enemy. This place, the Lord gonna burn this place up, brother, like you. It's gonna be a barbecue like you ain't never seen in your life. Was that it, Yediah? Please, I'm sorry.
I watched recently a video from someone in the aviation field, right? And they were speaking about how it was before 9/11 and how it was so loose to get on a plane. There was really no
problem.
There was no security.
Right.
It was so loose to get on a plane. And the guy was saying why? He said because before 9/11, they didn't even have a concept of someone taking over a plane and killing themselves. So meaning they were worried about people hijacking a plane and saying, fly to Cuba.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because they didn't even imagine that a cat would take over a plane and just kill himself and kill everybody.
Yes.
It wasn't even in there. They didn't have the concept of it.
They didn't have the concept.
And that's how death is. It's like, you're going to die in a way where you ain't even prepared or think that this is a threat. That's how 9/11 was. Their whole worry about 9/11, I mean, before 9/11, was a hijacker saying, land the plane here.
Yes. Take the plane
to Cuba.
Right.
Drop me off in this country. Because in their mind, the man ain't going to kill himself. Like, you get my point? He ain't that crazy. He ain't that crazy. Lo and behold, the Muslims are that crazy. And the cat was he was trying to explain.
Right.
He didn't think that this was a threat.
Wow.
That's coming. Like stuff that you don't even, man, he gonna just run the bomb down the block?
Mm-hmm.
Who in the hell knew?
Right.
He would just pick up a bomb and run it down the street.
Yes.
Who knows what we don't know?
Who knows what we don't know? When they start driving trucks over there in France and all kinds of stuff, nobody knew it was coming. And brother, like again, they got stuff out here that is nasty, very, very nasty. And by creating more war, you open up more doors to the same horrible things happening. The damn anthrax scare. I mean, that shut the whole post office down for 6 weeks.
Yes, it did.
You open the damn envelope like a regular letter, you ain't even thinking about it. You think it's a letter from grandma. This moment got anthrax in the damn letter. White powder. Hey, oh, some white powder. What's all this? People start dropping damn dead. This is some nasty. This got some horrible, nasty things in it. Yeah. And that's why you should not even be trying to go to war unjustly. And you shouldn't be trying to take nothing from nobody at this time in the end of the world. And that's why they all going getting nuclear weapons and gonna be caught up in the middle of it, just like you was bringing out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on.
Just like you say, Joe, they don't understand. That's why it's important for y'all to get up in the IHBK and get in class, man. The Bible says in Genesis the 16th chapter that Ishmael shall be a wild man, and his hand will be against every man. That's what we talking about, right? That's who the one the Commander General Muhammad said. that will run down the block with the bomb. Blow everybody up. That's them. That's who he is.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. I was just saying that motherfucker ran around in a circle in that room. He was making like 20 years. He making that falafel. 20 years. He thinking about all this stuff. Now you go messing with him. He running around. What you think you gonna get? You know what I mean? He done thought about 10 ways to poison you with that damn falafel. With that what's it called? The naan bread. I may not eat naan bread for the next 2 years. No, let me stop. I'm joking, of course, but you get my point. Like you asking for something you don't really want. You understand? And you've had so much of the earth. When are you gonna say to yourself, well, maybe we taking too much off the place? Like when you gonna say to yourself, you know, maybe we better, you know, it's probably right we let somebody else eat. Like there's a reason people do that. People do that because they don't want to piss everybody off who ain't eat, and you eating everything.
Yeah.
And that is what could happen. Go ahead, though, you die. I don't want to hold it up. Is it almost done? Go ahead. Go on up.
Revelation chapter 18 and verse 20. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets.
See that? Rejoice over her, thou heavens, man. The Most High, Christ, the angels. When this place and all these empires fall, the Lord is and the angels are going to rejoice. And it said, you holy prophets. Why? Because they're the ones that warned the people that it was going to happen. That it warned the people. I know y'all don't, some of y'all out there don't like us saying that. Somebody came in the chat earlier and was upset that we was bringing all this out. It's our job to bring it out. Get me the Watchmen if you want. I don't have to go to because we short on the time. But you get my point. Yeah. Like this is the prophets are prophesying it because it's going to happen. And it's supposed to happen. And that's just that. Yeah. All right. All right. What we holding next real quick? I think we got room for one more, maybe. Y'all want to get one more in?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I got a story from Captain Cobb. It's very interesting. It adds on to a story that we have on the list. Sir. Iran's red line was crossed. Security experts discuss Iranian threat to activate U.S. sleeper cells. The Jerusalem Post reached out to U.S. security and community security bodies to ascertain that the threat posed by Iranian-sponsored domestic terror in light of U.S. strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities.
Let me tell you something. The hood is about to be the best place in the world.
You always said that.
White people are going to be coming up wanting to eat all the hood food. Ain't nobody going to worry about no diet. Ain't nobody going to worry about no cottage cheese. What y'all got back there? What collard greens? I'll take 2 bowls, please. You know what I mean? Like they ain't gonna worry about none of that because, of course, you know, terrorists ain't blowing us up. It ain't enough value in it, one, and we ain't did nothing to them. So they gonna go deal with who they dealing with. Go ahead, you bring something out. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
It says Prim told the Post that there are many different angles to the threat against Jewish communities, including the threats from white supremacists, Black Hebrew Israelites, emotionally disturbed individuals with a history of attacking Jews.
Right. Like the problem is this: if you got people that's emotionally messed up for attacking Jews for no reason, that's everywhere. You got crazy people stabbing Black people on the train, psycho cops killing us every chance they get. You got crazy people everywhere. The other people, if they got an axe to grind with you, then you're going to feel it. Black Hebrew Israelites don't attack people, and they know it. They just trying to create a threat. Black Hebrew Israelites don't go. You might find one crazy guy in 20 years that done ran out there and, you know, got mad at somebody, and God knows if it's even real or if he had a reason. Who knows? But they just try to make it out to be a threat. Don't try to hide and scapegoat behind us. You went over there and bombed them Palestinians into the Stone Age. You did that. We didn't do that. You did that. You know what I'm saying? You did that. Man, they have so many videos of these so-called Jews spitting on Catholic priests. Oh, yeah. You spitting on Donald Trump's nuns. That's who you spitting on. You know what I mean? Them old hillbillies up in the mountain, they love them Catholic priests. And they love them nuns. And you spitting on them, telling them get the hell out the country and all that. Don't try to blame no black Hebrew Israelites for what you did. Oh, no, we own up for our mistakes. You own up for yours.
Right.
You went and killed them people damn near off the face of the map. You deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, you dad.
They act like we getting ready to drop a bomb on the Iron Dome that don't work.
Exactly. You know what I mean? We don't need to drop a bomb on you. The Lord is about to drop a bomb on you. You didn't invade Black America. You invaded the Palestinians' land. Go pick up your beef with them because they mad as hell. And now all of a sudden you trying to identify threats. Now they done bombed Tel Aviv and Haifa and a few other of them areas. Now all of a sudden we got threats everywhere. Black Hebrew Israelites standing on the corner waiting to go have lunch. And all of a sudden now they a threat. You know what I mean? Now we a threat. We don't have to threaten. White people that wake up and see what we're talking about, they come kiss our boots.
There you go.
You know what I mean? We don't have to harm them. You know what I mean? Just for those that might be watching out there, every one of these Edomites that come kiss our shoes do it voluntarily. We don't force anybody to do anything. You understand? They do it on their own. They recognize these scriptures as being what they are, and these people have to bow their head and recognize how vicious and vile their people are. And let me explain something too. Tons of white people that have been violated by other white people. They done had, some of them, these white people done had their whole inheritance robbed by uncles and aunts and lawyers. Some of them had businesses wiped out by other vicious white people who took what they had. And they're bitter and hurt and sad. And many times they recognize other people that's hurt and sad and been robbed. And then they begin to realize, you know what? I can't imagine what y'all black people went through, man, because I just had my inheritance taken and my this and my that. And they get down on their knees and kiss our boots for even surviving the madness that y'all done brought on. So don't come hiding behind us. Don't nobody want you. Ain't nobody trying to hunt you down. Don't nobody, I might go up there and get me a little falafel or a little, what's that Jewish Houthis sandwich? What's that? The
pastrami.
The pastrami.
There you go.
Or the corned beef.
Corned beef.
I'll get a little corned beef from you with a little coleslaw. But I ain't hunting you down. I ain't trying to do nothing to you. You did that to yourself. And you got to pay for what you did, both before the Most High and the nations that you destroyed. You went and pushed them into war with Iraq. Now you got millions of Iraqis displaced. They're going to turn on you. The entire world watched you starve Palestinians. I mean, them people starved to death. Yeah. It was horrific. China had to fly over and drop food down on them. And then y'all went and shot them up. Not the Chinese, the Palestinians. Yeah. You know what I mean? So don't blame nobody for what you did. You did it. Ain't nobody wanting you. Ain't nobody hunting you. You got nuclear weapons over there in the damn desert. Who hunting you? Mm-hmm. That's the reason they haven't invaded the country. So ain't nobody coming after you. Iran only came after you because of what you did. You went and invaded their country. That's between y'all. We ain't got nothing to do with it. We just watching the show. That's a lot. That's it. Damn right. I think we got about 6 minutes on it. I don't know what y'all want to do.
We got a short one. Yes.
You got another one? You got something short?
Says, I was there for 30 minutes. Oprah Winfrey and TD Jakes finally set the record straight about attending Diddy parties amid the mogul's trial.
Go ahead, because I want to know, did it come up? Because if he got pictures of Oprah, woo, he's paid. He got pictures of Oprah, he going home. He going home. They're going to say, Diddy, what ones you want for this? 50 million. Because if they catch Oprah in the triple buck, it's game over. That's all right. Speak a little bit. In other words, they catch her in a compromising position. That's going to be a humongous thing. And if he has those things on the lock and key, it's going to be a major problem. They know they got TD Jakes. That's why he gave up the whole ministry. He done. Pretending like it's cancer. It ain't no cancer. You know what it is that happened with him. Go ahead, y'all. Salaki.
Come. Media mogul Oprah Winfrey and TD Jakes have finally addressed the persistent rumors linking them to Sean Diddy Combs' infamous parties. Both powerhouses categorically deny any meaningful involvement in the disgraced rapper's social circle. The clarification comes as artificial intelligence generated content, AI, continues to spread false narratives about celebrities connected to Combs' ongoing federal trials and the two being connected to his free calls.
It was a lot of celebrities up there, man. A lot of people with power in the middle of that mess. They better hope they not. Simba said TD got the HIV. Yikes. I'm sure it's running rampant among those Hollywood homosexuals. You know what I mean? Especially those up in the church. I can imagine what's going on up in there, man. You know what I mean? It's probably filled with all kind of madness. And it was at one time, it was all free for all with them parties. You know what I mean? Which also show you it probably had plenty to do with some clandestine government organization. I don't believe that cat was having freak off parties that big with celebrities that powerful in highly cameraed, videotaped rooms in mansions with tunnels in the mansions. And you mean tell me the government didn't know nothing about it? All of a sudden, they just pop up and find all the years of video footage. Nah, I don't buy that, man. I don't buy that. I don't know if we're being sold a bill of goods or what. I'm not saying P. Diddy is innocent, but he's the perfect scapegoat. Like they didn't spill none of Epstein's file. They made sure they clipped him and put him to bed, and all the files are gone. That's it. They ain't hold his file. They ain't on trial week after week after week, pulling out this person and that person and calling this one up. You ain't hearing none of that. But for his trial, they doing all of that. That should tell us something about the whole thing. I said it already that they had decided already that they got to wipe out Black America to prepare for the whole destruction of Black America. So they wiping out all the celebrities. They trying to shut them down. You're going to start seeing them give them jail time. They're going to shut these churches down. Anybody with wealth and power, they coming after them. And P. Diddy been a key tool for it. So it's not just that ain't random. You don't do that much and nobody sees it. Not a single attorney get a whiff of it. Not a single complaint that stirred this all out. Come on, man.
Sorry if I could. So just now, I did not even realize that there was no Epstein trial.
None.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
In my brain, he was like a convicted child molester.
Yeah.
He had just got arrested and there was no trial.
Yeah.
It wasn't a trial.
No.
Damn it, you imagine it's a trial because they talk about it. But there was no Epstein trial at all. He, of course, killed himself before the trial ever happened.
So they say.
Yeah.
I ain't never known nobody to get killed in Manhattan detention center. I mean, it's first of all, it's such a small jail, and they got so much security. Somehow between shifts, he ended up hanging himself in the jail. I don't buy that. You know what I mean?
Well, I know the bombing of Iran that Donald Trump just did might make a lot of us forget. But of course, right before he bombed Iran, Elon Musk said that Donald Trump was on the Epstein videos. That's what Elon Musk said, sir. I'm just reporting.
Yeah, listen, you're right. Well, before everybody got caught up in the Iran-Iraq bomb, Elon Musk was crying foul on that Epstein trial. He went up in that jail, boop, he disappeared. The files is gone. None of it mainly being revealed. And he had that island. I know about that island way back in the 90s. He was talking about that island. He got an island with a temple. It almost looked like a Muslim mosque. It's like a blue and white temple, if you can pull it up, Marah. And I remember way back in the 90s, you had all kind of reporters saying, what is this island? They used to be like, is this the Bilderberger group? Why are they on this island? They had them super cameras snapping pictures of his island with all these celebrities and, presidents and all that, and heads of state, and what are they doing on it now? Lo and behold, they in there doing all the nasty stuff. Yeah, man, on the damn island. And none of the information, like you said, never came out. But the P. Diddy trial running on for weeks. Weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Come on, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm not saying he didn't do anything. I'm not saying he, you know, they got him on tape. He beating it. There it is right there. Go back, pull it back if you could, Marat. I remember this back in the 90s. Them they bringing up this island here with the palm trees around it. It looked a little like kind of like a little temple. Yeah. Whatever went on inside that building was unholy. Right. Also, too, if you notice the front foreground that is raised up high, so that means you go in the building and you go down underground. That's why in the front of the building is so small. But look how much of the island is just rocks and stuff down underneath there. There's probably chains and whips, all kinds of Epstein goodies going on down underneath that joint. And he been doing that for years. And now, only now they catch him, and no records, nothing. That shit just gets shut down and done. Please, man. Please. And they're gonna bury every black person they can behind this. So that was it. We done, fam. We done took up everybody's time, man. Heavy hitters in the building. Give it up for General Muhammad back up in the building with us. General Hazayan holding us down. Officer Mara, Officer Yadaya, Officer Ibaha, y'all. Officer Thumyard in the building. Doing it up now. Hitting Jersey hard, Hebrew. You understand? We'll see y'all next time live on the UBK fam. For what a show. Yeah. That was heavy, man. Right.